What's good, people? What's good? It's your boy J Bowman, man. Back at it, man. With another one. Just wanted to come and give you guys my review on the Kyosho Inferno GT2 Nitro status. First and foremost, guys, I bought this thing maybe about 3 years ago. This is the one with the R8 Audi body. As you can see, it's the silver one. The reason why I bought this thing, man, because honestly I was uneducated for the simple fact of what I do know now after 3 years of owning it. It is a four-wheel drive car. I bought it simply because of the R8 body, guys, and the fact that, you know, I was around some guys who were driving around in one, and they basically made me a believer that this was already ready to go, you know, blah blah blah. Yeah, anyways, well, I wasn't sure of what side of RC driving I was gonna do, you know, what type of, you know, driving I was gonna do, whether I was gonna race it or just bash around in it, was I gonna drift in it, or whether I was gonna do any drag racing or not. So I basically bought it just because shit's in use. Guys, I spent about $500 on this car. It's not a bad car. Let me keep that in mind. This is actually a pretty good starter car for any type of RC driving you're planning on doing. This is a good, pretty much a basher. It is also a good race car, short course racing, or if you're into drag racing, this car pretty much can do drag racing as well, with slight modifications, of course. You know, original, it comes with a KE25, which, guys, this is not a bad motor at all. This motor is pretty good. It is very much tunable, for one, and it is very much portable, for two. So I consider that right there to be a good motor. Now, not every motor is portable, and when I say portable, I mean able to be ported and still hold tune. See, yes, every motor can be ported, but not all of them can hold a tune once being ported. So it's one of those things where you do what you do. It's one of those things you do when you simply want, in a sense, the most power out of it, and you don't care about its life. But this motor is very portable. Pretty much the chassis is pretty sturdy, not the best at all, but it's pretty sturdy. As far as the exhaust, stock exhaust that comes with it, how do I explain this? It's not the best, but it's better than the worst. I'll put it like that. As far as, you know, since I've been in the hobby, I've encountered more pipes, exhaust pipes, that push out a lot more, get a lot more of that exhaust out, and allow for a better, you know, how do I say it, a better revolution, or a better RPM, a higher RPM, you know what I mean? It's basically revolutions per minute, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so the pipe that they send stock, I believe, has some sort of a baffle in it, which, you know, any baffle automatically restricts air, which automatically slows you down. Simple. One good pro about this car is the body, guys. I mean, now one bad about the body is it's super thin. So be ever so careful when it comes to handling your body for your Kyosho. if you got the R8 Audi bodies, if I'm not mistaken, they only made one specific, thickness, but I'm not too sure. So my body was very, very sloppy. I did not like the body, as in how unsturdy it was. When the car drives on the road, you can see the body waving, and I call that not good. That's one bad about the body. Now, I've seen people try and reinforce it inside. And yeah, that works, but you're weighting down the body because, versus them put an extra $500,000 of plastic on the body to make it more, sturdier. You're putting an extra couple ounces on this car that only weighs pounds, so every bit of weight, of course, depending on what type of racing you're doing or what type of bashing you're doing or whatever, every little weight that you add to the car does matter. So yeah, the body is just, it was a nice body though, of course, an R8 body. And it had the headlight cups, whereas you could actually install LED headlights, clear lenses, and I liked it. But yeah, they could have did a little bit, just a little bit thicker on the body, and that would have been a superb body, man, for something that you actually you don't race, you don't bash, you just bring it out whenever the car is just sitting still, something like that. But anyways, moving right along. One good thing about the car, simply a good thing, the first gear is a monster. First gear is very, very strong. It pulls hard. It does not waste time. So my thoughts were, man, on first gear, I'm planning on whatever I am, which I'm going towards drag racing. I'm going to start off with that first gear because it's good. I mean, it's not the best. I mean, I know there's some more grabbier first gears out there, but for that first gear that they came in its stock, I'm willing to try that. Another good is this is 2-speed transmission, which allows your engine to actually, it'll be less loading on the engine, if you will. Engines that have one speed, then of course there's going to be a lot more loading on the engine, and these engines are so small that, guys, you do not want too much loading. You want it to, when you hit the throttle, it gives you what you need right then and there. So yeah, 2-speed transmission comes in very handy, and you can, of course, upgrade the 2-speed transmission gears to whatever gears of your choice. You can go a lower gear or a smaller gear rather for higher miles per hour, or you can go a bigger gear for higher torque, pretty much. And yeah, so I've already dealt with the whole body situation with you guys. Right now I do not have the same R8 body. I went and bought another body simply because my R8 body was completely trashed, and the body that I got is, I'm not gonna lie, really nowhere near as flimsy as the R8 body. Yeah, so I went and I bought the Scepter body, and here it is. Meet my car, Crackhead. You guys don't like his name? This is Crackhead, guys. This is Crackhead. Now, unlike any other Inferno GT2, Crackhead has had a couple modifications. However, there's still some more things that could be worked out. Like for instance, guys, the Kyosho Inferno, or I think every Kyosho that I've seen, has Phillips screws, and then the screw threads are so aggressive that these plastic components can't withstand them. Yes, someone says, oh, you torque it too hard, but no, not really. See, because I had screws that I hadn't even touched on this car, and what happened is the screw hole, when I go to back the screw out just for the first time, touch it, the screw just sit there and spin. It doesn't back out at all. So that tells me automatically that when it was put together, they automatically over torqued it for one, or they made some real soft plastic. So that's one downer about the Kyosho. It is a good starter car. That's a pro, I guess. You know, that's a plus. It's a good starter car. You can hit the track right now, pick on a couple stock cars in your class, weight class, and things like that, and you probably come out, you know, maybe the loser, but not by much. Maybe a winner, but not by much. But it is a starter car. What else can we say about the Kyosho? The steering servo. Let me just move this body out of the way. The steering servo is a pretty good one. It's pretty responsive. It's not as strong as I would like it to be, because it will allow, you know, for a little bit of flexing, if you will. Certain servos have a lot more strength, whereas you couldn't when the car is on. You wouldn't be able to do this. But I don't think that's the servo. I think that's the, oh, that is the steering slipper. That's what that is. There's a steering slipper, another part that I understand, but I don't care for. A steering slipper. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Alright, so this right here is a steering slipper. You tighten up this screw down here, which is accompanied by a spring sitting up above it, and what it does is it keeps these two together. You see how it's slipping? I could care less for that. If I want it to stay here, that's where it should be. It should never be able to do this. Like I said, guys, I had this for 3 years, but I hadn't been running it too much, because when I got this, I was into the towing business, and that kept me on the road going. But that steering shouldn't be like that. Like I said before, though, I did do a couple little modifications to it. One modification, I got rid of those sloppy tires. They go bald quick. They don't last at all. We substituted those tires for the GRP line. These are all GRP. Yeah, they're dirty as shit, but it's the GRP line. These right here are the S3s in front, and then I got the S1s in the back, because you know S1 is the super soft, the stickiest in the S line. The S3s, I think, are just the soft or almost mediums. I'm not too sure, but I figured to myself that I'd love to have a lot of traction back here in the GRP line, so I went with the S1s for the rear end. For the front are the S3s, which are soft as well, but they do have some more sturdiness to them, or a little bit more rigidness to them, ruggedness to them, whatever you want to call it. A little bit more hardened rubber, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I didn't want it as soft because, yeah, I do want it to catch everything that I do, but I also want it to be able to forget about anything that shouldn't be worried about. If you have real soft tires on the front, you're going to, I feel to myself, my theory is that you're going to have a lot of errors. It's going to catch every little thing. Even a pebble on the ground is going to make a difference, especially if it's a four-wheel drive situation. This is supposed to be a four-wheel drive situation, which this is another plus. But I deleted my front dog bone, which would have been right here, connecting down in there. But that dog bone is no longer, and that's because I was trying it out as a two-wheel drive situation, which I'm still in the midst of trying it out. However, yeah, this is a two-wheel drive situation. I can make it a four-wheel drive situation. All I have to do is pull the dog bone out of here, bring it back, loosen up my front end, and put it in there, and be done with it. So yeah, that's a plus. I would call it a plus. I don't know what you think. You think it's a plus to have the capability of being a two-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive? Also, this car, guys, if it is done right, has the capability of being a front-wheel drive only. You can make the Kyosho Infernos, let me say it again, you can make the Kyosho Inferno a front-wheel drive car with no rear. So that's what I mean when I say this is a good starter car for anybody. Because if you're a drifter, then there's no, well, I wouldn't say it like that because you don't have an emergency brake on back to make it drift better. But I mean, I don't know. Hey, it's front-wheel drive capable as well. The shocks is pretty good, you know, doing its job, but you know, you got to constantly readjust the shocks. And the reason why I say that is because depending on your setting, if it's too loose, then the nut will just back all the way out to the bottom. Like when I get real close to the cap on my front settings, then the nut tends to wiggle loose. And as you can see, when you lift it up, there is a lot of play between the cap and the actual spring. Now, another thing you can do is to take all springs off and give them a little bit of a stretch out. You know, not much, just maybe enough to make a, let's say, 1/4 inch more, or half, not even a half inch, but a 1/4 inch more, you know, length, make it a 1/4 inch more in length, and then put them back on. That'll cut all that slack out, because as you can see, we've got maybe a 1/4 inch gap between there, and yeah, that'll help you out with that. But for overall, as a starter vehicle, I say again, shocks are not bad. You can bash on them and have fun. Yeah. I like the fact that the rear end is steel. Inside the interiors of the rear end and I believe the front diff, excuse me, is steel. Now, however, the cup, the rear end, the differential cup is actually plastic, which that ain't no problem with me, because me personally, I'm a dragster, and as you can see, when you spin my wheels, they both go the same way, and that is because I have locked my rear differential. I didn't do it to the front, but you know. Yeah, so I locked my rear differential, which isn't hard as well. If I hadn't put the video up yet, then I will on locking your rear differential, which I haven't yet because I'm looking at the car that I'm going to do it with, and that I know I didn't do yet. Anyways, I did lock this differential, however my camera didn't capture the footage or didn't capture the audio. But what I probably would do is I would probably go on that camera, get the footage off, and then just do a voiceover and call it a day. That might be, you know, the ticket right there, guys. So y'all might be seeing the Kyosho Inferno GT2 getting its rear differential locked. And when I say locked, the way I do it, ain't ever coming loose. Ain't gonna ever slip again. You'll blow a dog bone or a dog bone cup before you blow that differential again. I promise you that. Or you might strip the gears out on the differential's hat or cap or whatever. I call it a hat because it sits right above. This is the diff cup, all your gears inside, and then this is the cap. And the cap has that little teeth running all along the side of it. And that you might strip out before you do any slipping on that differential. I promise you that. We did change, well, I did change my setup. Of course, it's not original. Right now we are running the LRP ZR30X. Guys, to be honest with you, I didn't even give the KE25 a chance and a time of day. But let me share this with you, which I do not have footage on this, because this was way back when I first put the LRP on here. I did race a guy with a KE25 on his Kyosho, and I lost. Soak that up. Take a minute, let it register. I lost, but it was only because he went with torquier gears. We were not doing a specific length of run. We only went from here to a mailbox, so you know, it wasn't no real. It was a real run, guys, but I wasn't prepared for that shit. You know, the differentials were not locked at that moment. I was still running 4-wheel drive. The motor had just got on. We just had broke it in. No tuning to the motor really. Yeah, we did a little bit of tweaking, but it wasn't nothing major. Not the way that I've tuned it already or currently have it tuned. Nothing like that. But in which my tune still can get better. But yeah, so don't think that KE25 motor that comes on here originally isn't good. It's a very, very good motor. It can be tuned no matter what you do. If you port it, if you do anything to the, you know, as far as getting motor work done, you can still tune it. It's just that simple. And it is, you can adapt a lot of different carburetors on that motor as well, as far as I see. Now it does take a little bit of science, but a buddy of mine has been doing a lot to his KE25. I don't want to shout his name out and put him on point or put him on blast, because he is actually trying to be a silent stalker to another buddy of mine. He's trying to come for that ass. He ain't playing. He wants smoke, guys. So I'm gonna just say that I've been seeing the KE25 actually at work, and it is looking pretty good. does look pretty good. One thing I hate about these Kyoshin's, the Infernos or whatever, well, I'm gonna just talk about Crackhead. I ain't gonna talk about everybody else's. I'm gonna just talk about Crackhead. Crackhead, the shims, it needs shimmed bad. As you can see, the front tires will move as if you blew a tie rod or something, but it's not really the tie rod. Nothing here is shaking. Nothing has play. It's just the cup, the hub, aka the hub. What you need to do is, when you get these, you want to come, take everything down right here, and you want to come behind here, and you want to shim behind, either behind the diff cup. Let me make sure I said that right. Yep, either behind the dog bone cup, excuse me, where it meets the bearing. Shim it, maybe, you know, do it whatever your preference is. However, if you see it stop shaking to your, you know, whatever shims you put in it, how many ever shims you put in it, that's that. But I haven't done it, as you can see. I really haven't been messing with this after I got into towing, and yeah, so that's been keeping me pretty busy. But now, guys, I have a car dealership, whereas I have not a lot of time to play around, but after 5 p.m. guys, it's my time, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I have been playing around with it, trying to get back on track with it, man, get this thing rolling. Oh boy, let's see, what else can I say? What else can I say? What else can I say? So far, I mean, that's pretty much my review on the Kyosho. So now we're going to talk about Crackhead. So Crackhead has that LRP ZR30X motor accompanied with dynamite pipe. This pipe is straight gutted. It has nothing in the middle. I wanted to get the most air out as I possibly can. There is going to be a sneak peek underneath here, which is going to be another chute coming down. So that'll be a lot more air out. As much as I can get out, cool with me. Crackhead is about to go undergo another air filter, which this is not the original air filter that came on the motor or the car. I did upgrade the air filter, but it's still not the best. I currently run Crackhead on 20% fuel. It's simply because the LRP motor right now, I just put this on, just broke it in, gave it about maybe a run or two, and that was that. I haven't done real science to this motor to actually get it where I need it to be or where I want it to be. So yeah. Also, Crackhead has on a pair of 5th scale GRPS3s or S1s, excuse me, in the rear. These are 5th scales. This is an 8th scale car. We did have to adapt these 5th scale wheels on using 5th scale adapters. 8th to 5th scale adapters is what I call them. And what else can I say? What else can I say? I already spoke on the tires, spoke on that. Okay, and I am about to be adapting to the Futaba system, because not to say anything bad about the remote that comes with this is pretty good. I do get a good range out of it, but I would like the peace of mind knowing that I can get a longer range. So that's basically where I'm going to go. Sometimes it's best to be, it's best to have too much brakes than not enough. So in this case, guys, I'd rather have too much range instead of being out there running behind a goddamn car that, you know, is running at about 80 miles an hour. I wouldn't want to have to do that. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna win, guys. I really don't. I might got about 10 miles an hour in my legs there, but I don't see me getting that 80 out of these. Keep in mind also, man, I am a Traxxas fanatic. Traxxas was the first car I came up with before this. Little did I know, I could have took a dang, man, I had a Traxxas Jado, and my Jado was, oh man, that was a fast little car. Came with the TRX 3.3 motor. It was stock for a little bit, and then we went into trying a Pico motor on it. Can't remember exactly the size of that, but it was a Pico motor. It did good because, you know, it was able to catch a lot of RPM faster than the 3.3, and that, you know, gave us more of a hole shot ability, a better hole shot ability, if you will. Yeah. Anyways, but I sold my Jado, and right after selling the Jado, I bought the Kyosho. And thinking I did something good, guys, I should have held on to my Jado. I should have kept my Jado. I miss my Jado now. Must have the wrong size pin here, man. I don't know what's going on. I got another pin somewhere. Anyways, but that right there, man, is my take on the Kyosho Inferno GT2 Nitro. Don't forget, guys, to like if this video was pleasing to you, if you were very much informed in this video. You can dislike if you feel that it wasn't informative, and yeah, pretty much. So y'all take it light. I'll be in touch again with another one soon. Peace.